One of the things that drive me to work harder during the past 3 years is to be accessible to people who have never quite stepped into an art gallery before. Hey, I got it! I'm Sophia and I run a contemporary art gallery in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Oops, there I go again. I noticed that my non-art loving friends were turned off almost instantaneously at the very moment of me saying the word contemporary or using terminologies like minimalism, surrealism, pointillism, blah blah blah, or whenever I quoted a certain year when some important things happened in art history. So yeah, I got it. Nope, yeah, I do. As an art gallery owner, I've also learned to strengthen my will by recognizing, aka hypnotizing myself, that people don't really hate art or art galleries. They're just intimidated or just too scared to come close to it. Trust me, even if you really hate art, you don't really hate art. In that sense, I'm at most optimistic, just like how I believe that when some people say they don't like durian, that's only because they haven't tried one that's good enough for them. So, what if we try to imagine art like it's not that far away from all of us? Just like how music, movies, and books have always been part of our lives. Here's where I won't pretend that art is the most important thing in anyone's life, but what if we can use art, this little thing which many didn't believe is useful at all? So, where do we start? When people are newly introduced to contemporary art, I usually tell them there are 3 things, no matter what happened, you would never ever say or ask. Number 1, you would never ever say, "What is this?" Well, perhaps not 100% of the situations. If you ask what this is, in search of the information about the material or the type of art or the message it's trying to convey, yes, of course, by all means you can ask the question. What really happened is that a lot of people ask this question when they see a piece of contemporary art with the intention to ridicule the art. And here's the tricky part. Ridiculing art doesn't make anyone look smarter. People are paying millions of dollars for a piece of art. Is that because they are dumb? Speaking of that, here comes number 2. You would never ever say, "Why is this so expensive?" Here's a true story. A very rich client of mine once told me, there is nothing expensive, there are only things which one cannot afford. Ouch! No offense, neither was I trying to be cocky when I quoted him. It was meant to be a funny joke. And I guess the reason why we are laughing is that there is a certain degree of truth in it, isn't it? Number 3, behold, all of you who have children. Please do not say, "Oh, I think my 3-year-old boy could have painted that too." The literally $1,000,000 question is, has he done that? Despite that in contemporary art, many may not come to terms in the criteria of aesthetics, the factor of originality, boldness, and enterprising quality are sometimes better appreciated. I recently ran an Ask Me Anything campaign, and I was asked various questions by many people who loved the art, who were interested in art, or who thought art was boring or ridiculous, well, you name it. Are you ready? Question: how to start collecting art? Answer: forget the rules, just buy the art you enjoy. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, you need to have a lot of money. Just kidding. But if you're serious in finding out how to start a collection that will be a legacy of your own or your family, maybe we can come back to talk about this some other day, because there are indeed a lot of directions you could take. However, most importantly, it's all about knowing what you really like, what you really enjoy, and what you really want to be associated with. Question: why is some art ugly? Answer: because artists are not house decorators. Well, a layman's answer should be, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's not untrue actually. Just like how fashion has evolved, art goes through the same pathway as well. Or perhaps we can understand it this way. Art history is but a record of how artists and people have time and again trying to challenge what the previous generation thought about aesthetic, about beauty, and about art. So don't be surprised if some art is not visually pleasant. Maybe they're attractive in some other criteria. Maybe they could be intelligently provoking. Question: why is some art expensive? Answer: because art is a business, not a charity. Alright, so we have come to the question of the value of art. Perhaps it could be easier to understand art's value this way. There are many types of value we could be talking about. There could be aesthetic value, historical value, academic value, so on and so forth. And because of this, contrary to popular belief, price may or may not be subjective, but value is usually not subjective. Question: I do not understand art. Can I still enjoy it? Answer: do you need to understand jazz music before enjoying it? When I make a new friend or a new acquaintance and introduce myself as an art gallery owner, 70% of the time people will say, "Oh, art, but I do not understand art." Out of this population, I believe there are two main categories. Category 1, ignorance. Category 2, arrogance. Could you believe that it is the same world we're living in, where some people think that art is too smart for them, while others think that art is too boring or too foolish for them? Question: does art have to be political? Answer: no, but it can be. Very much depending on what the artist is trying to convey by creating that piece of artwork. Sometimes the message could be a commentary on the social, political, or economic situation, while at other time, art is a way of expression. It may be telling a story that they have heard of, or an experience they have gone through themselves. Question: is art important? Answer: no, of course. Perhaps in life nothing is important at all. Since all of us will be leaving this world someday somehow, why not we just have some fun, and occasionally, if you come across a piece of good art or bad art, give that art an opportunity to massage your brain perhaps. Trust me, it's fun. Question: some art baffles me. Something wrong with me or with the art? Answer: don't force yourself. A lot of things baffled me too. Don't worry about it. Question: some art to me are just random doodling. My baby nephew makes that too. Answer: perhaps you could make him an artist as well. Question: what makes you open an art gallery? Answer: I wish I asked myself the same question years ago. So, have I given enough teaser on what to look forward to on my podcast? Stay tuned to debunk the myths about the art world with me, would you? Bye for now!